Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning to most of you. Well, some of you. Well, it really depends, huh? Like Dion, it's 9 o'clock at night right now because I'm listening to the rewatch. Or would it be a rewatch or would it be a re-listen? You know, the things we must figure out in life. Oh, I'm fucking exhausted. I'm tired, man. Yesterday wore me out. A lot of thinking. A lot of driving around in 98-degree weather with no frickin' AC. That's what zaps me. It's the heat. That's what's been zapping. Zappity zap. I'll have AC soon, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know when that'll happen. Before next summer, I'm sure. For for next summer, I should have AC. Good morning, Angel. It's good to see you. We were reading from the Family Afterward today because I could not come up with anything. I couldn't even come up with a decent title. It's all right. It's a good week, man. It's a good week. Welcome to Daily Judge. My name is Dion. I'm your host. I will always be your host. I will never leave you. Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you down. All right. I still got this shit up here. If you're here, please say hello. Whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. All right. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm just tired. There's nothing really going on. And I could have done another CPC today. I'm glad I didn't set it up. So, but yeah, Angel, for two people with social anxiety, we didn't do too bad. Hey, Michelle, sending me dancing kitties this morning. Happy Thursday. Good morning. Good to see you. All right, let's get started. Let's get this party started, as quoted by Pink. Chapter 9, The Family Afterward. Our women folk, our women folk have kind of said, when one of my sponsees and I read this, we read that one line, and then we laughed for like 5 minutes. I don't know why. It just sounded silly. So our women folk have suggested certain attitudes a wife may take with a husband who's recovering. Perhaps they created the impression that he's to be wrapped in cotton wool and placed on a pedestal. Successful readjustment means the opposite. All members of the family should meet upon the common ground of tolerance, understanding, and love. This involves a process of deflation. The alcoholic, his wife, his children, his in laws, each one is likely to have fixed ideas about the family's attitude towards himself or herself. Each is interested in having his or her wishes respected. We find the more one member of the family demands than the other concedes to him, the more resentful they become. This makes for discord and unhappiness. Now, let's remember that alcoholism is a family disease, and every single one of these people are sick, including the in laws. Well, but you weren't even around the in laws, and you didn't grow up with the in law. Well, the person that married the alcoholic, that would be the child to the in laws, probably grew up in an alcoholic home. One of the in laws is probably also alcoholic. That's exactly, and it's probably the dad, right? In this case, because I'm thinking as a male alcoholic, female wife, who's codependent, who was the lost child growing up in her own family, and her father is probably an alcoholic. One of the parents is alcoholic. That's why they picked an alcoholic husband. It's crazy, I know. It almost always happens. Alcoholics either date or they either date, marry, have relationships with people that are either alcoholic themselves or codependents. Either way, every single one of these people have something in common. They all have a spiritual malady. Right? So I have four brothers and sisters. So I'm just going to talk about the four brothers and so three brothers and a sister that I grew up with. I have eight total, but four of them I never even met. So I mean, I can't really apply anything to. And they're only brothers and sisters in the fact that they're brothers and sisters. Other than that, I know nothing about them. Really. I have one sister. I think she's 18 years old. She might even be close to 20. I don't know. But she treated me like crap, so I didn't hang out with her. All right. Anyway, all right. So now we're sitting here in our 40s and our 50s. All right. And out of the five of us, is me and my sister who's done anything about what's gone on with us. The other ones you can tell. You can still see it. Now they my oldest brother, he went on to live a pretty good life. He's a pretty helpful person. You can see the codependency streaming through him though. I can see it. Okay. His wife is a non-alcoholic. He subverted the system. But she came from an alcoholic family. All right, let's move on. We need to know this stuff. And why? Is it not because each wants to play the lead? Is each not trying to arrange the family show to his liking? Is he not consciously trying to see what he could take from the family life rather than give? I went through this when my mom sobered up and she wanted to take the kids back over, and I've been doing it. I got really mad. Um, and I became the one. It says when we find one member of the family demands that the others concede to him, I was that person that you needed to concede to me. And I'm going to tell you something. I still feel like I was in the right. Amber says, then I go ahead and almost forget about your life. Oh. Shell says, I get it. I have six brothers and only one I grew up, and I only grew up with one. Yeah. You ain't starving, dude. The cat feeders are empty, and they're making darn sure I know. But cats are so passive aggressive. They're like, "Hi, I'm so cute. Look at me. I'm laying next to this empty food ball. You see this? See how cute? Look at my little tummy and my nice little eyes next to the empty food bowl, dude. The food bowl is empty. Do you know this? Meow, 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 meow." He's just flat out staring at me, too. No. Right? Is he not unconsciously trying to see what he could take from the family's life rather than give? Cessation of drinking is but the first step away from a highly strained, abnormal condition. A doctor said to us, years of living with an alcoholic is almost sure to make any wife or child neurotic. The entire family is, to some extent, ill. Let families realize as they start their journey that not all will be fair weather. Each in his turn may be footsore and may struggle. There may be alluring shortcuts and bypass down which they may wander and lose their way. Yeah. Each person needs a specific kind of help, but it's still the 12 steps. Even in Al Anon, you better get down from there. Oh, see, now you're just pushing your luck. Hold on. Hold on. This is an emergency. Okay. All right. All right, just put prayers out there. Just put prayers out there. All right. Nothing I can do about it right exactly now. But they're saying they've been calling me. My phone is not ringing. And something goes on with their texting. I think the person that they were with. What the? Oh my God. Okay. Now, no, my phone blocked it. Oh my God. Now everybody's blowing up my phone. All because somebody can't meet at a specific time. Okay. I'll tell you what it is. They don't want to disappoint me. They don't want to upset me. They want to keep trust with me. Things like that. These are the things sponsors do. I'm not going to get upset by that. You're not going to get in any. You're not going to get in any trouble with me. Yeah. Okay. No. No. There's nothing I can do about it right now. And suppose. But it says right here there will be alluring shortcuts and bypass down which they may wander and lose their way. That includes alcoholics, and there's a ton of them right now. Okay, the bright signs, the neon, the pretty things. I was just describing this to somebody yesterday. Alcoholics, we go after the pretty things, man, the shiny things, and without accountability, without discipline, without guidance in our lives, we will do that. We will do that. All right. Suppose we will tell you some of the obstacles a family will meet. Suppose we suggest how they may be avoided, even converted to good use for others. The family of an alcoholic longs for the return of happiness and security. They remember when father was romantic, thoughtful, and successful. Today's life is measured against that of other years. When it falls short, the family may be unhappy. I know a lot of other families go through that where the alcoholic builds up a bright future. I never did that. I've never had money. I have not been in that situation. Now that does not mean that. In other words, my kids never had the part of dad that was romantic and thoughtful until now. Even when I was not drinking during those 12 years, I wasn't like that. Mm-mm. I've always kind of been a well. We'll put it plainly. I've always been a. I was always because I'm not that way anymore. A selfish fuck. Yeah. So my kids didn't really demand that I bring things back immediately or anything like that. In fact, I'd have to say my kids were pretty fucking patient with me. I was lucky that way. Now it took years for them to come back. Years and years and years. Right. So it was just something a little different. Well, they were angry with me. And they had every right to be. Right. And they needed time to work through some of those things. And sometimes that can take years, especially with everything that I had done, with all the abandonment and I never really talked down to them or did any of that. I was always, kind when I was around them, but my actions told you something else. Yeah. Hey, Dion's live. Everybody text all right. Family confidence in dad is rising high. The good old days will soon be back, they think. Sometimes they demand to bring it back instantly. Didn't I just read this? No, it was the one before. It's because romance is in both of them. All right. I told you I'm not awake. Oh, the good old days will soon be back, they think. Sometimes they demand that dad bring them back instantly. God, they believe, almost owes them this recompense on a long overdue account. But the head of the household has spent years in pulling the structures of business, romance, friendship, health. These things are now ruined or damaged. It will take time to clear away the wreck. Though old buildings will eventually be replaced by finer one, the new structures will take years to complete. All right. So the first thing that needs to happen is I need to destroy what's currently going on. This will be the death of the old self. All right. But see, everybody wants the good old days back. Who is spiritually, who people that have spiritual maladies live in the good old days. That's where they live. Alcoholic or not, that's where they live. They have trauma, they have flashbacks. Life isn't real. Yeah, right. So it's going to take a while for these things to be, but we've made a mighty start. We've made a good start, and that's what counts. That's what counts. It took me years to rebuild the structures because sometimes we have to deal with more than just alcoholism. I have 4 other mental illnesses that I work with. Yeah, that I maintain. See, I don't just use the 12 steps to maintain my alcoholism. I use it to maintain my depression, my PTSD, my anxiety, and my ADHD. Not so much the ADHD. And I don't really even honestly agree with that diagnosis. I don't. Not totally. I probably still have some denial around that one. So, but Father knows he's to blame. Is he? Is Father the only one to blame? Is he? Is he really? Mostly, yeah. Mostly, yeah, but it takes a tribe to do this stuff. All right. It's very circumstantial. It may take many seasons of hard work to be restored financially, but he shouldn't be reproached. If you're concerned, if your concern is about dad's money, if money is the concern, I want to go pray. Ever says that people wonder why I only want one kid. All right. Angel says I'm right behind you with 3 mental illnesses, bipolar, PTSD, and brain injury, which is more neurological. uh, Perhaps he will never have much money again, but the Wise family will admire him for what he is trying to be rather than for what he is trying to get. Now and then, the family will be plagued by specters from the past, for a drinking career of almost every alcoholic has been marked by escapades, funny, humiliating, shameful, or tragic. The first impulse will be to bury these skeletons in a dark closet and padlock the door. The family may be possessed by the idea that future happiness can be based only upon the forgetfulness of the past. We think that such a view is self centered in direct conflict with the new way of living. It's what my other brothers and sisters did, aside from the sister that decided to go get help and face her demons. That's what they did. They just decided to forget the past. But I found something out. The past comes back and it'll fucking slap you across the fucking face so hard. It will. We don't get away with anything in this life. Good, bad, or indifferent. It always comes back around. Karma's real, my friends. Karma is real. You do bad things to bad people, you're going to get bad stuff. Oh, but I'm making a lot of money. Yeah, that's not what we're talking about. Money is not the does not fit into the equation here. No, but I see that. Gosh, you always have a lot of problems going on. It seems like it's just one racking dilemma after another. There doesn't seem to be much peace, right? Yeah. Angel says that's where ACA is handy. Still steps, but different. ACA is adult children of alcoholics. They deal with the trauma side, unlike Al-Anon and Alateen. They're more of a spiritual, but ACA gets a little bit more clinical. They dig into the trauma portion of it. It's a great program. It's a great program. All right. But everybody needs to heal. But who's going to need to be the example here? Well, we're going to need to be the example in many of these situations. I know for me, there are a lot of people that look up to me. I don't know why. I kind of know why. I was trying to make a joke and it did not work. It didn't work. That's what that was. But, and so therefore, now, does that, but sometimes I kind of feel like people might be dependent upon me, and that's not a good thing. Like right now, I'm feeling that way because my phone started to blow up. Oh, dear, I can't save you. I can't save you. Only God can do that. I couldn't even save myself. Makes you think I can save you. Yeah, I do a lot of work, but it was only by the grace of God that I got here. It is only by the grace of God. Yeah. Because you're taller and I'm as short. Oh, and I'm ass short. I am average height for a male of Caucasian descendants. I'm a little heavier than I need to be. I'm at 202 pounds, but I lost 8 pounds. So, all right. Henry Ford once made the wise remark to the effect that experience is a thing of supreme value in life. That is true only when one is willing to turn the past to good account. We grow by our willingness to face and rectify errors and convert them into assets. The alcoholic's past then becomes the principal asset of the family and frequently is almost the only one. Now, why would it be the only one? Because the other people, now I'm going to go back to my family, because not everybody went and got help. My mom went and got help. I went and got help. And my little sister went and got help. The man she was married to did not get help. My two older brothers and my younger brother did not get help. And it shows. It shows. I'm not saying they're unhappy people. I'm not here to make. I hope they're having great lives. I really do. They'll have to do it with me. That's fine. Okay. But I didn't want to live that life. Okay. Now, here's also another difference. All right. Well, my oldest brother, he has 2 kids, but I don't see him that much, and he's not even half, or he was my stepbrother, so we're legally he's not even my brother anymore. I can't remember the last time I talked to him. 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I don't know. He got mad because I was nice to his mother. They got mad at me because I was nice to the man that raised me, his ex-wife. Okay. She was going through some emotional things. She needed somebody to talk to. I didn't mind. It's not like we sat around and talked about him because we didn't. All right. So, but my sister has a child and I have kids. It seems to be the factor, seems to be the kids. Yeah. My sister's been in Al Anon 20 years, man. 20 years. She's been in Al Anon almost as long as I've been in AA. I got her beat by 2 years. So I have 22 total years of sobriety. No, it wasn't all in a row, but if I accumulate them, I, then I have 9 right now. Yeah. All right. So anyway, so that is why frequently it is usually the only one. See, you have to settle your past in order for it to become an asset, and if you don't settle it, so out of the 7 people that lived in the house, 3 of them settled the past, and now there are 3 people in that family who have assets to be able to help other people. That's what they're saying there. The painful past may have been of infinite value to other families still struggling with their problem. We think each family who has been relieved owes something to those who have not. Yeah, try and get the family to see that. Try and get the family to see that. See if they agree with it. It may not. It's why it's even more important that we become good examples. All right. Okay. Now Adobe's sticking something in my face. Oh my God. Every time. Okay. Amber says, do Al-Anons count time? Can they relapse? That's a really good question. I'm pretty sure they count time, like how long they've been in the program. But I don't think they hand out chips and stuff like we do. I don't think that they do. I don't remember getting those in Alateen. Um, and relapse on what? Going back to the alcoholic, maybe an emotional relapse, but there wouldn't be any kind of physical relapse. Maybe if there's domestic violence and stuff. So that's a really good question, Amber. I appreciate it. I wish I would have had a better answer for it. I don't though. But guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask my sister because that's an interesting question. Maybe I should just bring my sister on. I don't think she'll do it. My sister's very shy and very meek. She used to be though. Now she got Al-Anon. She might do it. I don't know. It wouldn't be so much shy as much as it is time. Um, she she my niece is 16, is autistic. She's very much on the spectrum. And then my sister works at the school that she goes to. So she's very, very busy. Very, very busy. And I'm proud of her. I'm very proud of my sister. So each family who has been relieved owes something to those who do not. And when the occasion requires, each member of it should be only too willing to bring former mistakes, no matter how grievous, out of their hiding places. Showing others who suffer how we were given is the very thing which makes life seem so worthwhile to us now. Cling to the thought that in God's hands, the dark past is the greatest possession you have. The key to life and happiness for others. With it, you can avert death and misery for them. Look at the things that alcoholics are given. Look at the benefits, the gifts that alcoholics are given who decide to recover. Then you have the key to life and happiness. You can avert death and misery for other. You can avert death. If you don't take that fucking seriously, then get out of the program. If you don't want that, you might want to get out of the program because that's a promise to me. Those are promises, man. Now, this needs to be done with humility. If it is not done with humility and accountability, then what you're going to do is you're going to go put on your bikini, you're going to get on your really nice boat, and you're going to show everybody how great recovery is. That's not recovery. That is showing off. I see it all the time. People literally bragging about what they have because they recover, because they got into recovery. These people are not in recovery. They are sober. They're little boys whistling in the dark. And the day they don't get your accolades, the day they don't get your likes and loves, that's going to be the day they go out. Because they refuse to take a look at the dark past. It's the number one reason why people don't do the work. Okay. I call it the AA shuffle. 1, 2, 3, slip. 1, 2, 3, slip. All right. Because we get to that fourth step and people, oh man, fight or flight. Fight or flight. Why? Because it's fear. It is fear. There's a fear. It's all fear. Every time I talk to somebody who is avoiding doing the fourth step, it is fear. Okay. But what do we need to do with that? Well, go to God. Where's God in all this? That's that third step where you made the decision to turn your will and your life over to the care of God. You made a decision. Now you're going to give it a try. Why would you not give it a try? Give it a try. Watch what happens. God forbid you accidentally become a better person. Because that's what's going to happen. You do that, you do the work, you're just going to become a better person. Oh no. I'm going to tell you something. Doing the steps, being in recovery, and doing this will be the hardest fucking thing you ever do, even if you're a brain surgeon. This will be the hardest thing you ever do. One more paragraph and we'll wrap up. Because clearly people are wanting my attention. So, that was supposed to be funny. My phone has been going on. Everything going on. It is possible to dig up the past misdeeds so they become a blight, a variable plague. For example, we know of situations in which an alcoholic or his wife have had love affairs. In the first flush of spiritual experience, they forgave each other and drew closer together. The miracle of reconciliation was at hand. Then, under one provocation or another, the aggrieved one would unearth the old affair and angry cast about its ashes about. A few of us had these growing pains, and they hurt a great deal. Husbands and wives have sometimes been obliged to separate for a time until new perspectives, new victory over hurt pride could be rewon. In most cases, the alcoholic survived this ordeal without relapse, but not always. We think that unless some good and useful purpose is to be served, past occurrences should not be discussed. I don't agree. What you said before, we're not going to avoid shit. Okay, now if we have settled the past, it is not okay to bring it out. You don't get to hash old shit. That's not fair. If it has been worked on. I'm not going to get much more into this. I'm not going to discuss this situation. Okay? Because I have my own stuff around it. So, it would be over. Period. There I would not be able to come back around. You would not be able to re-win my heart at any point. Mm-mm. So, I have very hard fast rules and my wife's the same way. But the thing is, we only have eyes for each other. So, all right, let's do one more paragraph because it ends on a much more positive note than what we were just ending on. We families of Alcoholics Anonymous keep few skeletons in the closet. Everyone knows about the other alcoholics' troubles. This is a condition which in ordinary life would produce untold grief. There might be scandalous gossip, laughter at the expense of other people, and a tendency to take advantage of intimate information. Among us, these are rare occurrences. We do talk about each other a great deal, but we almost invariably temper such talks by a spirit of love and tolerance. Yeah, it's always with love and tolerance when we're talking about somebody else. I don't do gossip. No, I don't do gossip. I don't do drama. Right. Now, there's sometimes something might happen and I need to 10 step it. Well, if I'm 10 stepping it, it's going to go, they did this and I reacted this way. We're not talking about what they actually did. Well, maybe they will, but they're going to kind of be left out of it because that was a trigger and that trigger is my responsibility. So we're going to be talking about the trigger, not the person, because it is my problem. All right. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and have a